Right, we're back. We're back in the barn. I'm going to rip out the seats on my Range Rover and restore them. The time has come. All right, so before I take these out, I'm going to show you how bad they are. They're pretty cracked up. I've put quite a lot of leather food in on these in the last couple of years just to try and keep them supple, but it's pretty crispy. I mean, this is really bad, this one, and the foam under here is a little bit collapsed, so I'm going to try and address that as well. Yeah, the plan is to change them to this color here, which is a nicer, sort of warmer beige. I know it's not going to be original, but it should look quite nice when it's done. The back ones aren't too bad, especially the backs of the seats, but it's more of a color change which I'm going for. There's a couple of little marks where the colors come off in the past. It's a little bit crispy along the top there, a little bit dry. So yeah, let's get these seats out and then we'll move on to the next part. Okay, so seats are out finally. Here they are. Hopefully this part shouldn't be too difficult. So I'm going to strip these down, take obviously all the buttons and electrics off, separate as much as possible. I'm going to look on the internet and see if I can get a new foam base for this one and how easy it would be to strip down take the leather off. But we'll yeah, we'll see on that one. Oh. Okay, so Furniture Clinic. This is where we're going to get the leather color from. So this is an offcut from the hide, which I used to redo the door cards and the center console. And I'm going to change the color of the seats to match it with this. So these guys, you buy what you need. So for me, I'm buying the color and the leather finish, which is like a clear sort of lacquer which goes over the top in a matte finish. And then I send off a little sample, they match the color, and then send it back to me. Right, so we're back. I've got one of the back seats here. And the first thing I need to do is remove all of these pieces of trim and basically expose as much of the leather as possible. Take this armrest off, take these little bits off, and let's have a look on the bottom. Probably take this bottom section off. And then we will rub this baby down. I'm still waiting on the colour to arrive, which I've bought from the Furniture Clinic. But in the past, I've used this brand called Woolies, which is really good. And I've got lots of leftover leather cleaner. So basically the process is from this point is use the leather cleaner on here and then use an abrasive pad, or I've got 800 there. I don't know whether that's a bit too coarse, but you want to sort of cut through into the color a little bit, because this will have like a sealer on top of the leather, kind of like a lacquer. So you want to get through that and then start, and what will start happening is this will start going like a beige liquid, and then you know that you're cutting into the leather, which is good. And then yeah, you want to do that all around these sort of, this seat actually isn't too bad, but you want to sort of attack anywhere where there's like cracks and stuff like that and splits. Like here it's very dry. Rub this down. As you can see, it's much more matte than it was before. I've cut through the sort of sealer layer until I started getting the beige paint coming out, which is what you need really. So that basically just means that the new paint's gonna stick much better. So here, as you can see, is where there were a few cracks. You can still sort of see them there. I might just take this down a little bit more, but I'm not sure whether it actually needs that. So here's the problem chair. Taking the headrest out, I'm just in the process of dismantling. But this here is going to be the problem. I'm going to see if I can zoom right in on this so you can see how bad it is. So it's, yeah, very cracked. A lot of the color is coming off. So the plan is to rub this down, and any deep cracks that are still there once it's rubbed down, like this, I mean, this is huge. I should be able to fill this with some leather filler. As you can see, I have started rubbing this back, and I've gone pretty aggressive on it because the cracks are so deep. Now it's kind of hard to tell at the moment because it's filled up with a lot of color, but it's definitely better than it was. I think it's going to need some leather filler though, to be honest, a little skim over the top and then rub it back again. What I don't want to do is put too much filler in it so it ends up looking really shiny, because they look terrible when they're done like that. So we have the driver's seat, which is the problem seat. As you can see, lots of cracks. I've already put a bit of colour on this after I rubbed it down, just to give it a sort of base and see what I've got. But yeah, as you can see, there's lots of quite deep cracks all across the leather. It actually looks really bad on the camera, but in real life it doesn't look quite as bad as that. But either way, these cracks are going to need to be filled. You know, some of the smaller cracks will fill up with just the colour, the stuff here. But yeah, for the deeper stuff, it's definitely going to need, like if you get close to this bit here, as you can see, it looks like an elephant's foot. So it's definitely going to need filling. So this is the filler that I'm going to be using from Furniture Clinic, leather flexi fill. And basically you're supposed to put it on with like a kind of like a spatula, but I seem to only have something like this, like a plastic blade. So I'm going to try and swipe it on and then let it dry, and then you rub it down again, and do that until the cracks are filled. Passenger seat isn't too bad. A couple of cracks here on the base, but they're nowhere near as bad or as deep as the driver's seat. This looks worse than it is on the base here, but it's actually only very surface level, so this should come up really, really easily. Cut that back a little bit, clean it, cut it back, base layer of colour, see what we got, maybe a little bit of filler in here, the cracks here. This doesn't look too bad either. And then airbrush it. This should be a lot quicker than the driver's seat was. Just use the scouring pad. This isn't really heavy duty enough to cut in really, but it's good at doing like a deep clean. And as you can see, it's made the leather really matte. And it's cleaned out a lot of the cracks. So now we sort of see what we've got. Very, very dry. I'm going to knock this back with a little bit of sandpaper and then get filling with it, because these definitely need to be brought up. I've actually filled this before rubbing it down a great deal. The other chair, I rubbed it down first a lot and then started filling the cracks. But actually what I've done here is filled it pretty much first. I gave it a quick once over with the sandpaper, but I'm going to try and fill these cracks in and then go a bit more aggressive on the sanding, and I think it should help me get to the right level first. But yeah, you can see still needs a bit of filler, but it's a start. It's a start. Alright, so we're going to use the airbrush now. Actually just tested a little bit here. It's working really well. Much more of a uniform finish. That's good. Look at this in the sunshine. So this is just had its layer of paint. I finished all the filling, rubbed it down. I didn't actually go as aggressive on this one because it didn't really need it. But also I wanted to keep, on the other one, I flattened it down too much. And I actually lost a bit of the grain of the leather. So you can see, similar to this over here, it's a bit shiny. But what I've done with this one is I've just filled up the cracks a little bit. So it's kept it sort of original finish, but got rid of any deeper cracks. It looks much more original like that. Alrighty, so we're headed over to the barn. We've got 2 seats done in the back with the other interior parts that we've finished. So I got some sealer on them yesterday, the matte finish sealer, which by the way is extremely matte. At first I was kind of like, oh, this doesn't look right. It is quite nice that it's super matte, but it doesn't really go in, you know, tie in with the age of the car. So I'm probably going to put some kind of wax sealer or some sort of hide food, some sort of natural finish on top as well at some point. I'm going to let this go off for maybe like a week or something. And then, yeah, add some sort of a more natural finish to it, just to give it a little bit of a sheen. But yeah, you can sort of see them in the back. Well, maybe you can't actually, but they're in the back with Alf. Anyway, we'll head over to the barn. All right, guys, we're pretty happy with this. Little side-by-side comparison. Obviously, the chair on the right-hand side there is the one that's been painted. You can see from all of the overspray on the black bar. I don't know why I did that. I should have just masked it up. I thought, oh, I'm going to repaint them black anyway, so won't bother masking them up. But now I've just got a mess. So, but yeah, I wanted to get them side by side so you could see the comparison in the finish. Obviously, this is much more of a matte finish, and then over here, obviously, it's got a bit of a sheen on it. So with this one, although I do like the matte finish, I think I'm going to put some sort of hide food on it, which should hopefully give it a little bit of a sheen. But all of the things like the cracking and the dryness on this leather here, as you can see, it's just really showing its age. Like that. And then on this one, really nicely finished. Very happy with that. Really, really nice. And that finisher really makes it feel soft. It's quite good. Really happy with that. Actually, if I'm going to be honest, it's better than the Woolies stuff that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. Would definitely use Furniture Clinic again instead of Woolies. All right, top tip. Alcohol takes it straight off if you get any overspray on anything. is literally wiped straight off, super easy. But yeah, obviously just be careful not to get it on the leather, because I guess it would just take it straight off there as well. So yeah, like here, look. It just comes off pretty easy. So yeah, just go around and do that quick. Here we got one seat in the back. It's looking really good. It's actually good that it's so matte, because it's going with the, obviously these are brand new leather that was used on the door cards and the center console. So this is very matte. And the seats, obviously the tone is almost, I would say, perfect, which is great. I'd definitely use Furniture Clinic again for it. That's the front seat. It's just sat in the back for a bit. Got do a few bits up at the front, like plastics which go around here. I need to make sure they're coloured the same as well. There we go. Right, I'm back and I've got updates. I'm in the Range Rover and the seats are in. Okay. Looking good. Everything's looking really nice. Really matched up with the door cards well. Look at it against that green. Real nice. Let me switch the camera around. Really good. Very happy with the finish. Very happy with the paint match to the door cards. Really happy with doing the seat backs as well. That actually turned out better than expected. I didn't think I was going to be able to paint those, but as it happened, it's got a really nice finish on it. So all in all, very nice. Took all this apart, got in there, did all that. Driver's seat doesn't look like it's been smashed to pieces now. Got all the map holder, handbook holder down there, all back in. Just need to do this side. I'm waiting for the dimmer switch for the dashboard lights to come, so I can get all the panel fitted back under there. But yeah, really happy. Painted all this, all the plastic parts. Didn't think that was going to go well, but it actually went really well. And I've got a plan for the carpets. They're not going to stay this colour for long, but that's to be confirmed. So we'll see about that one. This is it. Very happy. Feels much nicer in here now. With the doors closed, you can get the gist of the colour match. It's really good. Very happy. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed watching me mess around with my seats and my Range Rover Classic. Hope it was helpful to someone. I think they look really great. I'm very happy with them. It was partly a difficult job, but in the end, I think the results are really good. So if you like watching videos of me messing around with my cars, like and subscribe, and yeah, until next time, ciao.